Yo, what up? This is the SKA CAST featuring Flying Raccoon Suit. Yo, what up? How's everybody doing today? Welcome back to the SKA CAST. Today we got the one and only Flying Raccoon Suit hailing from Biloxi, Mississippi, you know what I'm saying? They're going to be talking to us about their newest full-length record titled Afterglow. The band has set up a Kickstarter page for that to help fund some vinyl pressings along with some merch giveaways and content exclusives only available to backers. So make sure you head over to Flying Raccoon Suit's social media pages, tap in with that Kickstarter so you can find out how you can do your part and contributing to the newest album. For now, let's go ahead and catch up with Guillermo, Andy, Jessica, and Kerley of Flying Raccoon Suit. This is the SKA CAST. Peace. Thanks for tuning in.
What up, what up?
How's it going, man?
How's it going?
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, no, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. Dang, it's you said it's 9 right now over there?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I appreciate you guys waiting. Honestly, I got home from work like 45 minutes ago around then. I was like,
oh, really?
Yeah, I was just like, I hope 7 works. And then when you were telling me on the DMs that it was gonna be 9, I was like, oh hell, I'm sorry.
We're a bunch of night owls anyway. It's
yeah, I was about to say we're all nocturnal.
Oh, okay, cool. Sounds good then.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what's crazy is not just because I'm talking to you guys right now, but you guys actually write like actual songs. I think that's pretty tough. Like you guys don't actually like.
That's debatable.
Oh, man.
Well, I appreciate that. That means a lot.
Yeah, no, but where I was going with that is I personally like bands that actually have like actual substance in their lyrics versus and this is not to like talk smack on any ska bands or nothing, because a lot of ska bands do this, and I mean I love ska, but they do this, and I mean it's pretty easy to admit like a lot of them do sometimes have like filler parts in their songs where you could tell like, oh yeah, they didn't have any lyrics.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad there's none of that in any of your guys' songs. Yeah, respect.
That means a lot. Thank you.
Start.
Yeah, we try to avoid I love ska, like you said, and I try to avoid the sticky stuff like No Beer or Ex-Girlfriend songs, even though that stuff's cool and has its place.
Yeah.
But
like, don't get me wrong, I also like mozzarella sticks, but come on.
No, it's crazy. I don't even know where that joke started from, the whole mozzarella sticks thing. But I knew it like got really popular like a couple years back, an ongoing thing. It's
because they're delicious. What do you mean?
I mean, I couldn't disagree with it once the assertion started. I was like, well, what am I supposed to say to that?
I think it started from like something where it was like it was like a are you smarter than a creator thing or something. This music genre sounds like you coming back home from school, mozzarella sticks or something like that, and I think that's
right.
Yeah, it was like whenever you find an extra mozzarella stick, ska starts playing in your head or something. I don't know.
Yeah, something.
It was something real dumb.
No, but yeah, I mean, I want to know if maybe we could. I kind of like to get like the general gist of like the band, the history, and like the people involved in it. So maybe if I could like maybe just get like a 1-by-1 like maybe introduction, if you guys are comfortable with that.
Sure.
What you guys all do in the band, how long you guys have been doing music, if you guys are all original members to the band. I know you guys have like an older album where I was looking at the Bandcamp credits. It looks like it was like kind of different from the recent stuff,
Yeah, I like or we kind of did the We Are the Union thing in a way where we started as sort of a high school band group of friends, and we released that album, which was good, but kind of typical third wave stuff. And then we stopped being active, and we kind of reformed or like restarted up in 2016 with this half new lineup and sort of a new sound and direction. We were all a little bit better at what we were doing. So this version's kind of 2016 forward. And yeah, I've known most of these guys. Me and Kerley and Jessica all go back in different indie bands. I've known Guillermo since high school. We've been playing music together, but
nice.
Yeah, mostly a lot of indie and ska backgrounds, and yeah.
You play guitar? Yeah,
I do guitar, and I used to be the main vocalist. Jessica and our sax player, who's not here, they joined halfway through the last album, so they didn't get represented as much on that one. So this upcoming album, it's more like Jessica main vocalist, and then I sing a couple. So, and I also do guitar, and then I record trombone for the albums.
That's tight. Yeah, I noticed. Yeah. I saw you guys had it was like It was like an acoustic jam sesh at it was like a YouTube channel called The Sound or something like that, right?
Yeah,
You
that
guys
was a
did
good one.
songs. It was a cornet player, and then you guys had a sax player, but I didn't see a trombone player. Do you guys have like a formal trombone player, or you just do the stuff for the records and then?
Just for the records, but we're sort of working on a new set to put out with this album where me and our trumpet player are going to be swapping off because he's also a really gifted guitarist and vocalist, and he's going to switch off on from trumpet to guitar, and I'll switch from guitar over to trombone. It'll be a cool live thing, yeah.
Yeah. I joined the band, God, I don't even remember the year or anything. It was right around the time that they were recording the first album that you were talking about. I think I'm actually on like 2 or 3 songs on that album. I'm not even sure, but me and Andy were in, like he said, we were in like this indie band together, and the whole band was recording an album with me as like the producer and the audio engineer basically. And toward the end of that recording process, they had like a whole different lineup thing going on, and Andy kind of asked if I wanted to kind of fill in drums temporarily, and then it turned into not temporarily. It's just still in the band this day, and I still produce our albums and stuff.
Word, yeah. I noticed too in that chat you guys had with The Sound that you were basically the engineer behind most of the stuff, all the stuff you're saying, basically, right?
Thus far, yeah.
Nice.
All of our stuff.
You've been
the good and the bad.
Have you been recording for a while, or is it something you got into? Like,
yeah, that's like when I was really young, I was my dad got me into guitar and stuff, and I got interested in recording music just early on, like just messing around with like his old like 8-track and shit, like really like old recording gear, and I would just mess around with it all the time, and like basically throughout my life I would just kind of be interested in that, and I eventually went to college for audio engineering and stuff, and
nice.
it's kind of a passion alongside playing music and stuff.
That's what's up. I always got curious about how like, recording school like even was like, or how that goes.
So in Mississippi, they have a school, USM, that they have like a really nice studio and everything, and a lot of the professors and stuff have worked in the industry for a long time. So it's a nice setup. I think in retrospect, going to school for something like that is kind of an odd choice. I mean, there's definitely a lot of networking opportunity, and I mean, there's definitely a lot of things you learn. But I mean, I think it's with any kind of field that you go into, unless it's super specialized, where it's like you could basically go to college to learn how to learn. So it's like anything from honestly, like you can just learn anything on YouTube nowadays. So I mean, if anybody's like an aspiring audio engineer, if you just do the work, you'll get there, because I mean, the school didn't really get me there. It's mostly just doing work on like either local bands around here or bands of my own.
Really? So it's more kind of like the whole schooling part was just kind of like how to kind of like know the ins and outs of like the processes, and you always made sure to kind of do like your own, like kind of build up your resume.
Yeah, and I mean, even it's like people that go to school for that, they don't use it, they don't do anything with it. I mean, it's a hard field to get into. It's very competitive, but I mean, if you're not out there actually like building your portfolio and actually making bad records or making, bad mixes and all that, you're not going to get good just from going to school for it. It really is like it's an instrument in itself, where the more you practice it, the better you get. Everything that I've made, I come out the other side a little better at it. I think anyway.
This newest album definitely shows that. You can listen to the first one when he was just learning, and this is the one that's coming out in a couple months is the best thing we've ever done.
I would be very unmodest to say it's my best work yet, but I think it is.
There you go. Oh yeah, I know you play drums, but I see a bunch of other instruments in the back. Are you a drummer and a guitarist, or?
Yeah, I would say I'm probably a better guitarist than I am a drummer, and I'm a shitty piano player, but I did the piano parts for the record. But I mean, when you're recording, I mean, I can play, but I can't play. Like, I wouldn't call myself a pianist by any means, but like if I look at the chord charts or whatever and stuff, I'm like, okay, that's what I'm doing. I can hash it out on a recording and stuff. And I like to write on piano for sure. I would say I'm primarily a guitarist and a drummer. I think it's kind of very beneficial for me to have my hands in the different instruments and the different songwriting parts and everything, because it kind of helps you as a producer if you know how to play the parts yourself, or can kind of envision that and everything.
Are you just working with bands, or have you worked with like singers or like rappers too? Or
I've worked with a little bit of everything. In the rap field, I've written beats. I haven't really worked with rappers themselves, but I
mean, yourself.
That's true. Yeah, I've done a couple of rap tracks, but I've worked on some people's beats, and like I've collaborated with a couple people, hip hop artists and stuff like that. But it's mostly bands is usually what I would work with, or I've done a couple little gigs with like acoustic type stuff, but nothing too much.
That's tight, man. That's tight. Yeah. I think Jessica just burnt you out. Are you a rapper as well, or?
No, not at all.
Yeah, he is. Come on.
There's a Mario video out there that would beg to differ.
I was about to bring up the Mario rap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not gonna pressure you into it, but if you sit on it, I would love to hear a verse before we go.
I mean, I occasionally spit hot fire, but I wouldn't brag about it.
I mean, hey, you know.
Well, okay, like Andy said, we've known each other since high school, and that's about. I've been in the band since the beginning, back in, I think it was 2008 we got started, like all those years ago. Met him sitting in trigonometry, and the teacher really didn't care, so that's how we kind of did the whole friendship start thing. But yeah, my background is basically just like the whole starting back in 2002 middle school, band, marching band, jazz band, and as it went on, just into college with that sort of thing too, and again with Andy throughout. That was a nice little journey. I love you, Andy. But yeah, so I was originally one of the alto players because we had like a wall of horns initially, because it was just a bunch of friends. We didn't have any like real vetting process. We were just like, let's get together and just have fun with this thing. And I mean, dear God, here we are now still. So, But yeah, I was one of the two alto players. When we brought in our current alto sax player, I jumped to tenor. So that's where I am right now. I did some backup vocals before, but thankfully I don't do that anymore. So now I'm just Andy. I don't know what kind of laugh that is. What is that a good? Is that...
That's a wholesome laugh.
Sure.
So modest.
Indeed. But yeah, I don't have like God, coming off Kerley, I should have gone first. I'm basically just the casual play in school, and now I'm just doing this with friends sort of thing. And honestly, that's the way I like it. I've always enjoyed that.
Oh, that's cool. You know, I mean, especially being, you know, as you said, like the casual, just doing it in school, and then, you know, now just doing it with friends. I feel like when you play with people, like for example, somebody that went to college for it and is like, you know, just really into like, you know, let's say music theory or something, when you surround yourself with, you know, someone like that, it kind of makes you better too, you know?
Yeah. Well, funny with that is I actually tried to take music theory in college. Somehow I was able to sign up for music theory 2. I shouldn't have been able to do that. So when I got there, they were like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, oh, I just want to learn. They're like, yeah, don't do this. Just get out. And I was like, okay, I was going to spend money, but bye. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll just go home now. That was cool. Thanks.
Yeah. Was the first music theory, or did you even take music theory 1, or you just like try to skip straight into music theory 2?
No, the labeling wasn't clear. It just said like music theory, and then, you know, college will like throw random numbers at you, and you're supposed to be able to discern it apparently. Yeah. But they even said like I shouldn't have been able, like the system should have like prevented me from being able to do it in the first place. And I'm like, well, I mean, I'm kind of already on a different level now. Aren't you a little impressed with it? But no, they just.
It's such a you thing.
It was. I was so good, and it was an accident. I'm sorry. I hacked the mainframe. I don't know how.
That's funny.
Horn players that aren't here are super into that stuff. Like they're completely self-taught, so they didn't get degrees in it, but they got to the point where now, like our trumpet player gets to the music school around here and stuff like that, just because they dove in deep enough on their own.
Nice.
But yeah, they're crazy. He pisses me off too, because he's got like near perfect pitch, and I'll just be like, "Hey, sing a C sharp," and he'll do it, and I'll play it on my guitar and be like, "Damn."
Oh, that really helps. God damn it.
No, he's incredible though.
I mean, I've been singing my whole life. Like, it sounds real cheesy, like everyone says it, but Like I was a little kid, like singing along to Mariah Carey and trying to do like little like, you know, little whistle things she does.
Yeah, no, the essential. I never really listened to Mariah.